Good morning. All right, so today we're talking about the 5 types of trust that you must master in your life and in your business to receive more with a lot more ease. So today we're going to explore the importance and the process of radical trust in creating the life and business you desire from a place of ease and maximizing your ability to receive more with that same level of ease and joy. I'm going to share with you how rewiring your nervous system to essentially recalibrate to trust is one of the most important pieces to creating and receiving more without stressing, without sabotaging, or without having to sacrifice yourself. We're going to explore how essentially getting out of your own way and creating spaciousness happens through trusting and detaching ourselves from results. And how actually when you detach yourself from results, you free up the outcome and you free up your ability to receive more from that place of ease, from that place of joy, from that place of nourishment. Learning to trust, or relearning to trust, because as we're going to explore, it's something that we actually know how to do innately, naturally. Learning to trust is really near and dear to my heart. It's been something that I have worked with and continue to work with a lot. And it's made all the difference in my business. Not only in terms of the quantity of my receiving, essentially how much I've been able to create and bring in, but also in the quality of my receiving, meaning the satisfaction, the peace, the joy, and the ease in which I get to create and receive what I want. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And there's 5 levels or 5 types of trust that you must master, and they kind of work with each other and they build on each other. For those of you who don't know me, hi, I'm Ilsa. I'm a total spiritual nerd. I'm a licensed therapist. I'm an expansion expert and strategist. And for almost 20 years at this point, I've been teaching my clients how to rewire their nervous system, their lives, their businesses for more. Feeling a little congested this morning, so bear with me. If you want more expansive growth in your life and in your business, if you want easeful receiving, then I want to invite you to book one of my 90-minute Wired for Wealth intensive. I offer them at 55% off for people who are new to me. And it's literally 90 minutes of you and I working together to figure out exactly what are the wounds and the blocks in your nervous system that are holding you back. And then I actually teach you my entire step-by-step process to bring your nervous system out of contraction and back into expansion. This is specifically geared for purpose-driven professionals, soulful entrepreneurs and leaders who want to repair and recode their nervous system, expand their nervous system to feel safe, to feel easeful and playful in creating, receiving, and having more in life, in love, in work, and in wealth. All right, let's get started. So for most of us, we were born in and with absolute truth. As babies, as young children, we absolutely expected to be loved and to be taken care of. We absolutely trusted and had no doubt that we were special, that we could be or do anything we wanted, and that life would work out for us. That we essentially, as young children, you look at young children and they expect that life is going to support them and is going to turn out well for them. It's only over time in the evolution of our journey as humans that through disappointment, through rejection, through bullying, and other traumas through the wounding and the conditioning, essentially, of living and being a human, that distrust and mistrust starts to arise within us. So as we get to be an adult, a young adult, and later in life, we essentially stop trusting. We stop trusting ourselves. We stop trusting our value, our worth. We stop trusting that we are supported by life and that things are going to go our way. And essentially, as we evolved to stay safe and to protect ourselves, our nervous system started to contract. And we started expecting less. We started armoring ourselves against pain and disappointment, essentially expecting the worst, closing off and bracing ourselves for the worst. And in doing that, in that bracing, in that contracting, in that expectation for things to go poorly or for things to be hard, we essentially started to reinforce that contraction in our nervous system. And it shifts that contraction, being in contraction shifts our relationship to ourselves and to our life. And it shifts our relationship to our business, to our potential clients. So that loss of trust, that contraction, that armoring, that bracing, essentially is the culprit. It leads us as humans to disengage ourselves and close ourselves off from the flow of life, from the flow of receiving, from possibilities. And it kind of moves us and shifts us into a way of creating and receiving that stems and emerges from a place of force and a place of push and hustle. Which then it's a kind of a weird circle, because as we're anchored in pushing, in hustling, in forcing, then our nervous system contracts even more because it doesn't feel good. It feels unsafe. It's like we're reinforcing this idea that things are hard and it is not safe to be us, and it is not safe to have things with ease. So our big work essentially is to start repairing and recalibrating our nervous system for trust, and to reclaim that within ourselves, to remember essentially that as humans, trust is innate. We were born with it, we had it, and we lost it, and now we need to bring it back to take it back. And when we do that, when we start to really repair and recode the nervous system for that innate trust, we can start living in possibilities. We can start creating from flow and receiving with ease and joy once again. So our inability to trust affects our ability to show up. It affects our ability to be received, and it affects our ability to receive what we desire, which is why it's so damn important in life and in business to start rewiring ourselves for that radical level of trust. Our level of trust is literally like how the degree to which we trust is in direct relationship to our level of satisfaction and ease in life and success in business. Oftentimes, when something in your life or in your business feels stuck, when something feels like it's hard work or it's a struggle, or you're encountering some kind of external or internal blockages or setbacks, obstacles, and it seems like nothing's quite working, oftentimes there's usually one or multiple areas where we are lacking trust, and we're unconsciously sabotaging and blocking our results, our progress, and our efforts. So this lack of trust will show up as us feeling like victims of circumstance. It'll show up as feeling like no one gets us. It'll show up as feeling like the world is against us or people don't want what we have. But that's not actually what's happening. What's happening is that the circumstances, our experience, is actually a reflection of our own doubt and our own resistance. It's a reflection of our lack of trust. And to some degree, it's a gift from the beyond to start showing us where we need to start surrendering, where we need to start leaning back, where we need to start reopening and really practicing awakening that sense of trust. So, in my experience, our experience of life essentially reflects the degree to which we're trusting. And there's 5 different levels, or there's 5 different types of trust that we have to master, that we have to reconfigure, recalibrate ourselves for. And they're all important, but they all kind of build on each other. The first one is to trust yourself. For things to be smooth, for us to be able to create and receive with ease, first and foremost, we have to trust ourselves. As we discussed, life is a mirror. What you project out into the world is what people see of you. It's what they sense of you, and it's what they reflect back to you. So if you don't trust yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, if you don't have your own back, this lack of self-trust is what people will start to reflect back. And then you will get the sense that people don't trust you, or you can't trust them, and they're not believing in you. So what does it mean to really trust ourselves, like unconditionally, at a radical level? Self-trust essentially is aligning with ourselves as our best friend, as our ally. Self-trust is all about knowing deep in here, deep in your nervous system, that you will not abandon yourself. You will not abandon what you hold most dear, what's most important to you, on your way to success. You're not going to abandon yourself to satisfy or not disappoint another. No matter what, you're going to have your own back first. When I was doing a lot of work around self-trust, and I would kind of work with like a future version of me, a version of me who absolutely trusted herself. One of the things that I got in that work was this idea that everybody and everything else can be number one, as long as you're not number two, ever. So you can make anything super important. You can make everything number one, but you can never be number two. You always have to be number one as well. And it's a little bit of a paradox, but essentially it means that no matter what, even when things are extremely important, you never abandon yourself in that process. So self-trust is the knowing that we will say no when our hearts means no, that we will set clear boundaries, that we won't overgive in life and in business, that we won't undercharge for our work. Self-trust is knowing that you have the courage to do it your way, that you're not going to automatically follow somebody else, that you're going to follow your own North Star. You're going to become your own North Star, and you're going to do what feels right and good to you. Self-trust is also trusting in your own innate wisdom, in your own unique rhythm, without needing to push yourself beyond what feels right, and without without needing external validation. So when you have that sense of self-trust, you can suddenly start to feel safe within yourself. Here's the thing. You can't feel safe out there until you feel safe within yourself. Your nervous system won't allow you to start expanding beyond your comfort zone, essentially, until your nervous system knows that it is safe to be you, and you are safe with you, and you're going to have your own back no matter what. The other thing that happens with self-trust is that your nervous system will not allow you to succeed and create that expansive business that you want unless you can really know deep in your bones that you get to succeed as you, not as a version of you, not as a mirror or a mask of you, but truly as the most authentic person that you can be. And that only happens through self-trust. So that's the first level of radical trust, or the first type of trust that you have to master. Trusting yourself unconditionally and having your own back unconditionally. Level 2 is trusting your gifts and your unique power. So how we are received by the world is again a direct mirror of how we receive our own self. So how we receive what we view, what we feel about our gifts and about our power is what people will reflect back. So if we have doubt about our gifts or about our ability to serve, people will have doubts about our gifts and our ability to serve. You have to trust that you are enough. You have to trust that you have everything within you that you need to transform your clients' lives and to succeed. You don't need to be someone else. You don't need to improve yourself. You don't need to prove anything to anyone, because you have that unconditional, radical level of trust in your gifts and in your work. How people will respond to what you do is a ripple of your level of trust and your level of belief in your own sacred work. So these are questions you want to ask yourself, like, do you believe that you and your work are one without a second? That literally there's no one else who does what you do exactly the way you do it? Do you believe that you are absolutely unique and powerful and that your work is potent? If you can say yes to that, then you're going to show up from that trust. You're going to show up from that yes. When you truly believe and embody that, it shines out of you. It shows out of you. There's a level of certainty, a level of clarity, a level of confidence and conviction in that type of trust in your work that makes everything you do work. It makes your marketing work. It makes your messaging compelling. It allows you to claim your authority, and it gives you permission to start serving and to start showing up at that next level, boldly, powerfully, from a place of peace, from a place of calm certainty. And it also gives you permission to start to charge what's going to feel really good to you. So your sense of conviction can be felt by those who are meant to work with you. When you really start to embody that level of trust, the trust in your own gifts, the trust in your own magic and your own potency, essentially, it's like you become a lighthouse that's finally turned its light to the max. And now you're shining bright, and your people can find you through the dark, treacherous journey of being human. They can find you, they can see you, they can sense you, they are attracted to you. So we need to embody that we are loved, that we were made for this. We were made to do the work we're doing, and that this is your time. So we have to embody, like, I was made for this, and this is my time. When you embody that, people love me, people need me, this is my time. Anything that seems to be in the way starts to dissolve. So this is your work with this level of trust. Find the joy, find the fun, find the certainty and the conviction in it, and start to show up and speak from that. Know that your desire to serve is all the proof you need that you are meant to serve. Or you wouldn't desire to serve. You wouldn't desire to do what you're doing. There's plenty of people out there who are interested in all sorts of things. That doesn't mean they do it for a living. That doesn't mean that they actually have the desire to serve other people with it. Like, I don't know. There's all sorts of stuff that I love to study from dog training to, doesn't mean that I'm out there trying to grow a dog training business. So if you have a desire to serve in a particular area and you have a gift in that area, then that desire to serve is all the proof you need. Trust that your gifts are needed in the world and that you belong here. How do I know this? Because if you weren't needed as you are, and if your gifts were not valued and important in the world as they are, then you wouldn't be here as you are, and you wouldn't be trying to serve the world with your gifts. That natural inclination that you have to share them, to have an impact on the world, that is the only validation, the only proof you need that you're doing exactly what you were born for, period. So you want to lean into that. You want to feel into that certainty that you are here on divine assignment. Feel that in your body. Let go of any second doubting that you might have. Relax into it. Allow your nervous system to normalize that level of trust that you're doing exactly what you're meant to do. Allow your nervous system to really start to adopt that and to reconfigure and recalibrate itself around that. So you decide that this is who I am, this is what I was meant to do, and now is my time. You embody it in your depth, not just up here, but in here, deep in your being, deep in your body. And then you start to live and show up from that. So that's level 2 of trust. Trusting in your own gifts, in your own magic, and in your own potency. Level 3 of trust, or type 3 of trust, is trust your process and trust your journey. So first you need to trust yourself. Then you need to trust your gifts and your own inclination, your own desire to serve, and your ability to serve. Then you need to trust the process, the journey of actually getting to that point where you are serving and having an impact. Once you claim that you're here by divine ordinance, that your gifts are one without a second, no one does exactly what you do, and you're here on purpose serving, then you are ready for that third level of trust. And that the trusting the journey, the trusting the process is all about being all in no matter what. It's about commitment. So basically, like, if it's easy, like if things flowing, great. I love it. I'm here for it. If your process, your journey gets hard, that's okay. I know ease is coming. I'm here for it, and I'm loving it no matter what. If things move fast and are happening, great. I love it. If things are slow and it feels like you're hitting a lot of setbacks or obstacle or nothing's moving quite at the speed you would like, that's okay. I know my results are on my way. I'm here for it. I love it. The trusting the process, the trusting the journey of your emergence, of creating the impact in the world that you want to create, in creating the money that you want to create, is essentially about being all about, I'm here, I'm all in, I'm committed, I'm all about it, no matter what. I'm here for it all. I'm going to love it all. I'm going to trust it all. Whether it feels good or not, whether it's pleasant or not, whether it's slow or fast, doesn't matter. Just like self-trust essentially takes you having your own back and never abandoning yourself no matter what, your gifts, your purpose also require that level of commitment and that level of belief. Your gifts essentially want to know, your life wants to know that you're not going to give up no matter what. You're not going to abandon the gifts you were given no matter what. So results are like everything else. Sometimes they take time. Sometimes they are not quite as easy to manifest as we would like. We need that level of trust in our process, in our journey, to essentially keep going. Most overnight successes are 10, 20 years in the making. Most people who talk about everything they've created, they're literally telling you the last little bit of their journey. They're not sharing with you everything it took to get here. I'm going to give you a personal example. In the last 2 to 3 years, my business has at least doubled every year. I can stick to that part of the story and tell you what I've been doing and all that stuff. There's truth to that. But it would be more truthful to also tell you that I've been in business for 20 years. So what happened to the first 16 before that, that's almost 20 years, not quite. But so what happened to the 16 years before that? 16 years before that, figuring out exactly what I wanted to do, figuring out exactly who I wanted to work with, undercharging to a level that is not even imaginable for most people, overgiving, burning myself out, getting sick. Like, I've done it all. Like working, doing, giving, getting very little back. My 3 years of success is 20 years in the making. And I'm still in it. I'm still in the process of growth. So results are like essentially growing a garden or growing flowers. You plant a seed and then you water it and then you trust. Even though you can't see anything that's happening right, you can't see anything happening right away. You can't see what's happening under the surface of the ground. You know that something big is shifting. You trust that the process is working in the unseen realm. So you keep watering. Even though you can't see anything, you keep watering. There is always a delay to every project, every manifestation, everything we are in the process of creating. There's always a delay to getting the results you want. Don't worry about the delay. Worry about watering. That is the definition of trusting the process and trusting the journey. Don't worry about the delay. Don't worry about what's showing up. Just keep watering. Usually, before there's any big level of expansion in results, any big expansion in terms of growth or scaling, it's usually preceded by some kind of setback or some kind of slowdown or some kind of struggle or obstacle. Sometimes it's the one thing, it's like something that's hard. Sometimes it's a series of them, and it feels like nothing's working. These obstacles, these setbacks, they're here to test your resolve. They're here to awaken and cultivate your courage. They're here to show that you are committed no matter what. They're essentially part of getting you ready for your expansion. And that's where trusting is. Trusting is about knowing that even though I can't see anything right now, my results are on our way. And the reason my results are not quite here yet is because I can't receive them. I can't hold them. I'm not quite ready for them yet. And I'm in the process of getting myself ready. So delays are part of the intelligence that is at play. They're part of the path. They're part of your elevation and your expansion. They're not a mistake or a problem. They're not something that is in the way. They are the way. That is trusting the process, trusting the journey. Trust that the path you are on is the exact right path, and that it is the path that will take you where you want to go. So you trust the process, you do your part, and then you leave the rest alone. Part of this level of trust is to surrender the outcome and to simply focus on making progress, to simply focus on being a better version of ourselves day after day, on making sure that we are literally getting ourselves ready for what's on its way to us already. This was something that was extremely powerful to me, was this idea of acting as if the results don't matter. Like letting go of any kind of short-term results, just trusting that the results I want are on their way, and showing up as if. Showing up from this energy of service, from this energy of, I trust in my magic, I know I'm here to do this. I know that my work is needed and is unique and no one does it quite like me. I know. And it doesn't matter what results I'm seeing short term, I'm just going to keep showing up from that place. When results don't matter, it's almost when they start to show up because you have freed up something within you. Trust is like a magnet. It literally collapses time. It allows where you're at and where you want to be, or where you're at and where you want to be, depending on how you're looking at this video, to literally be attracted to each other and collapse time. And it brings these two realities into one. When you move in the direction of your desires with absolute unconditional trust, then your desires are equally moving towards you. The delay is this thing in the middle. The delay is also making sure that you are ready for this collapse of time and space. So let go of the results. Let go of what you can see tangibly in the here and now, and just focus on showing up continuously and consistently. Results will show up in the right way, in the right timing. That is above your pay grade. All right, so that's trusting the process. Level 4 of trust, or type 4 of trust, is trusting life. Here's the thing. And I touched upon this a little bit when I talked about trusting the process and trusting how setbacks and obstacles and delays are actually in service of your expansion. They're actually in service of your readiness, making you ready to receive, making you ready so once you receive, you can actually hold what you receive without sacrificing yourself, without sabotaging yourself. In some way, that intelligence that shows up in the trusting of the process is a form of trusting in life. There is wisdom happening in every little instance. If you look at everything around you, everything that's important in your life, from the beating of your own heart to the healing of your wounds, like when you cut yourself, to breathing and digesting food, everything that's important for your survival is literally done for you. It's taken care of for you. If I had to literally be in charge of maintaining this body, of maintaining my outside environment, my close by environment, I'd probably be dead within a couple minutes, and probably so would you. If you look at your environment, everything is set up to give you the opportunity to thrive. The right amount of oxygen, a planet with plants and trees that literally eat up our CO2 and give us more oxygen so we can keep breathing. Temperature that allow us to be comfortable and grow food, enough water to drink, the right amount of gravity so that we're not being crushed, but we're also not flying off into space. Everything is designed for us to have every chance possible of not only surviving, but thriving. And that is what we have to trust in. Trust that something bigger than you, something infinitely smarter than you, life, has you and has your ultimate best interest at heart. And trust that you're here for a reason. You're here to win, and you're fully supported in winning. There's an aspect of that that's woo, but there's an aspect of that that's also just really down to earth. This idea that life is always aligning and partnering itself with you in the creation of your desires. It's back to like growing that seed. You plant it, you water it, but you don't sprout it. You don't grow it. The aliveness, the intelligence of life that's coded in the seed, in the water, in the soil, does that. There's plenty of seeds out there that you never planted and watered that grow all by themselves. They figure it out. You don't go in there and dig in the dirt and like start to pull and make sure that the seed is sprouting. You don't do any of that. You just do your small part, and then you trust in the intelligence of life that's in everything. It's in you, and it's in everything. Every gardener, every farmer trusts that intelligence and partners with life when they're planting a garden or they're growing crop. Your life, your business is its own kind of garden. You are in a co-creation with life. Your part is to be clear, to be committed to your path, to your magic, to your gifts, to take aligned action. That's part of what you're doing. You're doing what you need to do, what feels right, what comes next. Your part is to stay in expansion and in trust, and to move from that alignment, from that expansion, from that trust, while surrendering the exact process, the exact outcome, the exact timing and timetable back to something that is more intelligent in you, back to life. When you decide that you are fully committed, that it is all working for you, that no matter what short-term results you can or can't see, it's all working. You are supported. When you have that level of decision, of belief, and of trust, then it's like the universal forces gather to support you. And that magnet that I was talking about, like, intensifies. And things come together faster and with more and more ease. Your level of readiness also increases, because here's the thing that happens when you're trusting in life. To trust in life is to feel infinitely safe. It's great to trust in ourselves. It's great to trust in our gifts. It's great to trust in the process. And with every level of trust, our nervous system like regulates itself and relaxes and becomes more and more receptive and starts to expand more. But to trust in life is the ultimate sense of safety. To know that no matter what, we are held and we are guided, and everything important is taken care of. That's the ultimate level of relaxation, of rest, of surrendering and being receptive. When you lean back and you trust in the intelligence of life, that's when you can stay in action without ever worrying or focusing on the immediate outcome, because you're simply moving in faith. When you let go of the short-term results, as I said, when you stop focusing on short-term results, and you just trust that your results are always already on their way. They're on their way. No need to look at them. No need to focus on them. It's like you unbind the flow. You unlock the flow. And from that place of peace, from that place of rest, not only are you able to flow out, like the creativity, what you're supposed to do can flow out of you, but what's always already on its way to you can start to flow in. I often say when you stop giving a shit about results, that's when they show up. Because you're so open that everything you want can start to come in. So now let's talk about the fifth and last level of trust. And that is in many ways the hardest level of trust for so many of us, including myself. The fifth type of trust is trusting others. Real growth requires that we learn to feel safe with others, which is not easy because for most of us, every real disappointment, every real trauma we've had, every real sense of feeling rejected, of feeling not good enough, has come from someone else. Most of the wounding and conditioning that we have lodged in our nervous system have come from others. Every sense of being betrayed has come from someone else, usually. So that's why I put it at this last level of trust. Because it's really hard to attract the right kind of clients, the right partners, if we can't trust others. We go farther together. That's just the way it is. So part of this trust, this fifth level, this last level of trust, is we trust that as we evolve, as we get ready, as we learn to lean back and open and be one with life, the right people will evolve with us. And those who are not the right people will fall away. We trust also with this level of trusting others, it's about trusting our clients, trusting in their resourcefulness, trusting that those who are meant to work with us will find their way to us. We don't have to chase them. We don't have to strong or arm them. We don't have to manipulate for a sale. We just trust that if somebody's the right person, they're going to say yes. And if they don't say yes today, they're going to say yes tomorrow. We trust that our clients are going to find a way to afford what we want to be paid. We trust in them just as much as we trust in ourselves. But here, the part of the reason why I put it at the end, because in many ways, trusting others is a ripple of the first four levels or first four types of trust. When we can't trust others if we don't first trust ourselves. We cannot trust others if we don't trust that no matter what, we're going to have our own back. We can't trust others if we don't know that we will not abandon or dishonor ourselves in order to support, please, or appease someone else. So when we trust ourselves, it becomes easier to trust others because we know that we're never going to put ourselves number two. Even if someone else is number one, we're still number one as well. We can't trust others if we don't trust that we are enough. We can't trust our clients if we don't trust that our magic is powerful and that we have exactly what each of our clients needs, what they will need to succeed and transform. If we don't trust our own abilities, our own potency, we can't trust their transformation. And if we can't trust their transformation, we can't sell. We can't invite. We can't do the most potent level of work we're here to do. We can't trust that the right people will find us if we don't trust in the intelligence and the intentionality of the process. We can't trust that we're going to be safe sharing our gifts and sharing our gifts with others if we don't trust in the intelligence of life. We cannot trust others if we don't trust that life has our back completely. And we can't trust others if we don't trust the intelligence of life that actually created all these others. All these others are an extension and a ripple of life just like we are. So in many ways, when you're practicing all these first 4 types of trust, you naturally fall into trusting others. It almost takes care of itself. I also want to talk briefly about sales when it comes to trusting others. Sales, like love, is literally the energy of trust in action. In sales, you trust the person in front of you and they trust you. That's how a sale is made. There's no sale without trust. It's a full circularity of that trust. It's like playing tennis with trust. It's an exchange of energy. Trust is an exchange of energy that literally opens possibilities. You, as a practitioner, as an entrepreneur leader, trust in their potential to expand, their potential to transform, their potential to show up and do the work. You, as the person selling, trust them, and they trust your potential and your potency to help them expand and transform. So sales is the exchange of trust between ourselves and others. If we don't trust others, if we don't trust ourselves and everything in middle, our process, our magic, life, then there's no selling that can really happen. At least not from a place of feeling deeply anchored in peace, in pleasure, in excitement, in joy, not in a way that's going to feel deeply nourishing to our soul as well as our bank account. So radical trust is an extremely powerful practice to essentially bring your nervous system out of contraction, out of scarcity, out of limitation, and back into wholeness, into freedom, into flow, into that sense of expansion. Trust is what allows our nervous system, our body, to feel safe and to feel worthy, creating and receiving the results we want. It's very hard to do without that level of trust. So our work essentially is to get to the point of that leaning back, that openness, that spaciousness, because the more spacious we are, the more space we have to receive and hold what we want. And you want to just go through, as you're moving through like your life, your work, your business, you want to move through these 5 levels of trust. Do I have my own back? Am I sure that I'm not going to abandon myself in what matters most? Am I making success safe by having my own back, by having clear boundaries, by focusing on what matters most? Do I trust my magic? Do I know that what I'm here to do is unique, is authentically mine, that my people need what I have, and that I'm here to share it, that now is my time, and my way is the right way? How do I know? Because if it wasn't my time, and if it wasn't my way, I wouldn't have the desire to serve and change the world in some way. 3, do I trust in the process? Do I know that my results are on their way no matter what? That anything that feels like a setback or a delay or an obstacle is actually here to serve me, is here to invite me to maybe shift my perspective, to try something new, to break a rule that's no longer serving me, to up-level something within me, to release or reclaim something. Do I know that I am fully supported by life? That's number 4. Fully supported by life. That there's an intelligence. I just need to show up. I just need to plant and water, and all the growing, all the collapsing of time and energy is taken care of by something bigger than me. That I am guided and supported every step of the way, even when it doesn't automatically feel that way, even when it doesn't look like it. It's all working for me. And there's wisdom and intelligence in the background, in the unseen, that's doing all the work. I don't need to worry about a damn thing. And then level 5 of trust. Can I trust others? Can I trust that the right partners, the right clients, the right team members will show up to support me and to support the mission, the vision? Can I trust that my clients, the ones who I am meant to serve, will say yes without me needing to manipulate or push or hustle or put on a mask or anything like that? On the contrary, the more I am me, the more my people show up, and I can trust them. I can relax with them. I can trust their potential just like they trust my potential. So those are the 5 types of trust that you need to master in life and in business to be able to create and receive with a lot more ease, a lot more freedom, a lot more joy. So that's what I have for you. If you are ready to expand out of contraction and you actually want to repair and recalibrate your nervous system and your identity for trust, and so that you can achieve and grow and receive more with a lot more ease and a lot more enjoyment, then I would love to work with you. I would love to help you anchor and live in and from expansion and succeed massively in life, in love, in work, in wealth, in a way that really and truly delights and nourishes all part of you, including your bank account, but not just your bank account. And to help you get started with that, I offer a 90-minute one-on-one Wired for Wealth intensive with me for 55% off. It's essentially $149. You and I'll meet for 90 minutes. And in this intensive, we explore exactly what are the wounds, what are the blocks in your nervous system that are holding you back, that are sabotaging your progress and your results, that are costing you emotionally, energetically, and keeping you from being the most powerful and the most peaceful person you can be. And then in the second half of this 90 minutes together, I'm actually going to take you through my hatching process, which is it's proprietary. I've put it together over 20 years of working with people, and it will show you exactly what to do to bring yourself out of that contraction, out of that tightness, and back into expansion. And then if we want to continue working together, I'll give you a couple different options to fit your needs and fit your budgets. So to book that, you just click the first link in the description of this training. I want you to always remember that you have everything you need to succeed. You are the most powerful force in your life. Your nervous system is both the path to healing your past, and it's also the doorway, the gateway to your potential and to the future you desire. So everything you need is coded inside you. It's totally possible for you to create and receive the success you desire and what you want in life on your own. with simplicity, with joy. It's just a lot easier to do it with support. It's a lot easier to do it with somebody who has walked and is walking the path themselves. And I would love to help you unlock that potential, to help you create that like those easeful and fast results you want in a way that feels really good and truly honors all of you. All right, that's what I have. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon.